All right, time for Ask an Expert. James Dobney in with us this Sunday. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see you on this beautiful morning.
It's a lovely day.
Okay, let's start off with a phone call from Patrick in Kamloops. Good morning, Patrick.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, Patrick.
I have a question for you, and I'm sure it's a problem that many people have. I have a squeaky floor, and the floor is underneath carpet, and the area floor below it has a finished ceiling, so I can't get at it. I don't want to pull the carpet up. How do I deal with this squeaky floor?
Don't make it easy, Patrick. It's tough, but the only way you can deal with it is from up above, because I'm assuming it's drywall underneath, is it?
Yes, it's a drywall ceiling.
Yeah, so you really have to deal with it, and either you lift the carpet. Now, there is a product that I don't specifically know the name, but it's a screw that has two heads on it, and you can screw it down through the carpet and then break off the head that's left. So you might look at that. Check out a flooring company and see if they can steer you in the right direction there. But you're still going to be going through the carpet. So the best way, really, and you should call a carpet company and see how much it would cost to get a carpet layer to come in and just re-stretch it. Shouldn't be that much, but that's really the best way. And then get flooring screws and find the squeaky spots and screw it right to the joist. Make sure that you're into the joist, otherwise it will squeak. What happens is, as the wood shrinks and you walk on a plywood floor, the plywood goes up and down and it rubs on the nail or the screw, and that's what's squeaking. So,
right. Okay. Good luck with that, Patrick. I know that can be really annoying. Hey?
It is.
Our first email question is from Glennis, and Glennis writes, our daughter needs to install a baby gate at the top of her stairs, but there isn't a stud where it needs to be attached. What is the safest and best way to fix this?
If you're dealing with screwing things into drywall, you really need an anchor, a proper anchor, and there are lots of good ones. They have ones that they're butterfly type, and you can drill a hole, it goes through, and then the metal expands, and you bolt it to that. Or there are plastic ones that some better than others. I like the ones that have a very coarse thread. You can screw those in and put a screw into that. Make sure that the screw is the right size. Otherwise, if it's too long, it won't work properly. If it's too small, it won't work right. So use a really good anchor, but check with the manufacturer of the doors at the baby gate. Go to their website, because a lot of them will have mounting kits, and if you don't happen to have it with the door, I'm sure you can get it. And it will give you very good instructions, good anchors, etc.
But of course, with something like that, you definitely need to be safe.
You do. You don't want to be just putting a screw into drywall. It's not going to hold.
Yeah, so. It does nothing, right? Yeah. Okay. Thanks very much, and good luck with that, Glennis. Bob from Oliver is our next caller. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
Hi, Bob.
There. What's your question for James?
We renovated our mobile home a couple of years ago and put new ceiling on and drywall and so on. And now we've developed a couple of cracks, and I want to know how I can fix those.
The cracks on the ceiling in the drywall?
Yes.
In the corners or in the middle of it? Or?
It's in the middle.
And is it? Do you have a textured ceiling, or is it just?
Yes.
That's the tricky part. If you have a smooth ceiling and you're not dealing with texturing, the best way is to is to patch it. Use a piece of drywall tape and go over top of the crack, and then just re-tape it. With a textured ceiling, it's really tough to get it matched like that. So it's there's no easy way to do it to get it so that you can't see it. Although there is a product you can buy in a spray can, and it'll simulate the texture. It has different nozzles for it. So you might want to try doing that.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to redo the whole.
Otherwise, to get it so that it's seamless, you'd have to re-drywall the whole thing.
Or you just live with.
Or you live with it. Exactly.
And just don't point it out to people. Hey, check out my ceiling. All right, thanks for that, Bob. Good luck with it. Brian Christie is our next emailer, and Brian writes, we have a 21-year-old shake roof rancher home. We heard about a company that will pressure wash and treat our roof to extend the life of the roof to 40 to 45 years, as long as the roof itself is in good shape. They guarantee the roof will not leak for 5 years. Do you recommend this type of procedure, or are we better off replacing the roof at this time?
Always a tough one. I can tell you, though, I've been inspecting houses 25 years, and I've never seen a shake roof last 40 years, never mind 45.
How long do they normally last?
Typically, in the lower mainland, at least around 18 to 22 years, maybe a little longer, depending on the grade of shake, how much shade is on the roof, those kinds of things. So once you get a roof that's over 20 years, you really have to say, is it worth putting money into? Typically, it's worth maybe replacing, if it's less than 5% of the shakes that are deteriorated, you can replace those. You can put metal shims under them, new ridge caps, As far as the miracle treatment goes, I think a lot of it times it's just a waste of money. So if you start spending $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 on a 21-year-old roof, typically that's not the way to go.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your email, Brian. And George from Langley is on the line. Good morning, George.
Good morning.
Hi, George.
Hi there.
Yes, I have trees next door to me, and my roof has got moss on it. I just put a duroid roof on 2 years ago, and I've got moss all over my roof again. And I was just wondering if there's something I could do to...
So it's in shade all the time?
Darn near, yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, to actually get rid of the moss, I'm not sure how adventurous you are. You want to be careful on a roof. But just a stiff broom, you can go up and actually sweep the moss off.
Okay.
Or if you want to pressure wash, you want to be careful. If the pressure's too high, it can damage the shingles. But once you get rid of the moss, you can put on what's called a zinc strip. And it's a thin metal strip. You put it underneath the ridge cap, and what happens is when the rain hits it, it washes off, and the zinc will actually kill the moss. So that's a preemptive thing. It's worth thinking about doing that.
Is that something you can do on your own pretty
well,
easily?
It depends on how you are with heights. If you feel at least bit uncertain about it, don't do it. But roofers can do that for you.
Yeah, definitely be careful.
But definitely keep the moss off a roof is the best way.
All right. Good luck with that. Thank you very much for your calls and your emails today. If you do have more questions for James, you can give him a call at that number, 604-942-8272. There's his website, jamesdobney.com, and his email, admin@jamesdobney.com. If you have a question for any of our Ask an Expert guests, you can email us weekendnews@globaltv.com. Make sure you put the guest's name in the subject line. And next week, veterinarian Dr. Andrew Forsyth will be with us. We're actually moving Ask an Expert to Saturday next week because of the Miracle Weekend for BC Children's Hospital. So Ask an Expert, make a note of this, is on Saturday instead of Sunday next weekend. Thank you, James.